La 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 la. Hello everybody, this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I got a bare roots tree in today. Yay! It says may be open for agricultural inspection, live perishable plants. Please open immediately. I just got it. Just got it. They just delivered it outside the door. So, I think it was sitting there maybe 5 minutes. It's a bare roots tree. It's another plum tree. Yay! Why you get your hand on? So, move this out of the way so I don't hurt myself. They got it packaged well in here. Let's see how it looks, huh? I scratch myself. Okay, these were, oh man, the roots are wet. The roots are wet. It broke a little bit, but it's green. Oh, let me not make a mess. Maybe I should have did this outside. So here it is. I have never had a bare roots tree with roots like this. Wait a minute, this is not roots. This is some kind of bamboo. Here it is, and it's alderman plum. I ordered this from Amazon, but the owner, the people who actually do this is alderman. So let's get this into a box. I mean, into a planter. I have a planter outside already ready. Let's get to it. Here we are with our plum tree. Another one. Yeah, I know. I got a problem. I got a problem. So I was gonna put it in there, but I think it's too wide for that. So I'm gonna put it in here. So let me get some of this soil out. Got plants everywhere. Move over you. Okay, and what I'm going to put in is a little bit of bone meal and a little bit of blood meal. I'll augment this soil. Okay, here is our bare roots. Give it a room. Okay, start back filling it. That's not good. It's over before I hurt myself, huh? It's already standing tall, huh? This doesn't belong in here. That's what happens when you recycle soil. You get all kind of extra stuff. So now that I got a little bit more out of here, I'm gonna mix some more bone meal and blood meal in here. See that? I'm mixing it up. Because it's organic, I don't think I have to worry about it burning the roots. That's the good thing about using something natural, it doesn't burn your roots most of the time. Don't quote me though. There's a little centipede in here. All right, let's just start putting it in. There we go. Rotate it around. Push it down a little bit more. Okay, now that I have it in, right there, I need to go and get some water and water this in. I dropped some of this. Yay, plant. Yay. Water. The final frontier. Water it in. Take this off the main stem. The label. And because this thing is broken off, I think I'll put it right here. Put it right here. It's already broke, so. Oop, that didn't work. Let me take this off. I need to prune this. Because there was a little break at the top and I don't want it to stay like this, I'm gonna go ahead and prune it down to about here. I think I'm gonna chop all of them a little bit. Just a little bit. So let me go and get my pruning shears or scissors and I'm gonna chop that off. Okay, so I'm just gonna clip off the top. My little cheap pruning shears. Clipping off anything that seems broken. All I did was cut off something that had broken and ripped down, so I cut it down to the bottom of the rip point. Then I just did a simple cut of the other two. So this is a bare roots tree. This is a plum, an alderman plum, and it is grafted. I'm going to show you the graft line in a second. So right here is where they grafted it. That's why I took that thing off, because I didn't want to take the chance of that cutting off the circulation. But there's the graft right there. See that? They put some kind of adhesive on here. This thing looks pretty healthy. So I'm gonna put this tree, that tree, in a nice space, a nice shady space, because it's about 90 degrees out here and I don't want to put it directly in the Texas sun. I'm gonna put it over here where it'll get some morning sun every day. Every plant that I've put in that space has grown, with the exception of one, and I think that was my fault. That was something where, anyway, this one just arrived today. I picked it up outside the door 5 minutes after they delivered it. My little camera went off, so I knew somebody was out there, and I expected this thing. I just didn't know what day it was going to come in. I ordered it from Amazon, and I know it comes from Alderman. Where did I throw that tag? It comes from Alderman, but it was sold through Amazon, so they just listed their stuff on there. It was on sale, so I just went ahead and said, hey, you know what? I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I think it was $25 with the discount. So that's a deal for a tree. I'm going to put this in a space and y'all can follow me over there. It's already been fertilized. You notice that I didn't put any horticulture molasses or any fish emulsion in there because I put bone meal and I put blood meal in there. That should be enough for this tree. The soil is recycled soil I got out of my, my recycle center, which is a little pool that I dump everything into. So this tree should have a very prosperous life. Once the roots start growing like my other plum trees did, I'll put it out in the yard. This does not need to be heated. My citrus, most likely, with the exception of those two new ones, need to be heated. But this, plum trees, any stone fruit has to have some chill hours. So I try to pick the ones that have like 300 or less chill hours, which is really low. Because I'm in Texas, we don't have a lot of winter. They need chill hours. They definitely need chill hours to fruit and to prosper. So let's go ahead and put this in the spot, and I guess we'll say goodbye after that. Or maybe we'll have a little discussion about, I don't know, about bare roots trees versus the trees that you buy from the big box store, and why I started purchasing bare roots trees. Let's go. Perfect. So I got it in its spot. My hands are dirty as usual. I just do things like that. I just plant with my hands. I don't know if that's a good thing nowadays, you know, but that's my soil. I've used that soil at least once. Every time I have a plant that has extra soil, if I knock the soil loose, I go ahead and save it. I do not throw it out. If I can't get the soil off, it's a totally different. If I can't get it off, I just plant the plant with the soil. But if the soil is dropping off, especially because of this clay soil, if the soil in the pot is dropping off, potting soil is less, it doesn't retain moisture as quickly, and it drains the water quickly, but clay soil holds on to it. So if you take a plant that has a bunch of potting soil in it and you put it in clay soil, what's going to happen is it's going to create a bowl, and that bowl is going to hold water and it'll rot your roots. So it's better just to knock off as much of that potting soil as possible. If you're planting in clay soil, you have to have the same consistency soil as much as possible. You can't get it off, well, if it's all roots, you know, it's all roots, so it's not gonna really matter how much. Don't damage your plant trying to get the soil off. But if you're planting in clay, try to knock off as much of that potting soil as possible and then put it in the ground. So the reason I have started buying bare roots trees is not because of what you think. It's not cheaper. Most of the time, this one was. It's because you have a limited amount of type of trees that you can get from the big box stores. They only carry such a limited supply. Example, Myers Lemons is all I see now. I'm gonna get that rooster. Myers Lemons is all I see in the big box stores. I don't see any other type of lemon, and I know they exist, but they're not there. So in order to get a variety of different things and the things that I want, I have to go to bare roots. Bare roots are, you know, some people say they're risky, but I've had luck with them, with the exception of one plant. One out of, I don't know, 10, 15 this year. And before that, I've never had. Now, I have had trees that were in a pot that just didn't make it. So, you know, I'm just saying they're about the same. And when I get bare roots trees, they produce just as well as the plants that I buy that are mature. The ones that are already potted up, they produce just like them. So why would I limit myself on what I can purchase when I could go online and get the trees that I want, and they're just as big? Now you have to check. That's another thing that I want to tell you. Make sure when you buying some of these trees that you check to see how big they are, especially if you buy it on a secondary seller. You know, so they list their stuff on Etsy or Amazon or whatever, or eBay. Just make sure you look to see how big of a bare roots tree you're getting, because they could send you a little itty bitty thing like this. They're only like 1 foot, maybe less. Check, read the description of what you're buying, and then order it, because there are a lot of things out there. Like they'll show a picture of a plant and then you get a pack of seeds for $20. So make sure you read the descriptions when you're buying these things, because what you see on the picture is not necessarily what you're going to get. It's what you're supposed to get, or what it's going to be one day, 50 years from now. So go ahead and read the description. Make sure it's a bare roots trees. And I recommend that you get something about 3 to 4 feet high. It's not cheap when you buy it that way, but at least you're going to get some fruit maybe the year after, maybe the first year. I have one that I just purchased, not from Alderman, but from, okay, I'm back. I have one that I purchased from Willis Orchard. And this thing is, I've only had it about 6 months. I got it this winter. And look at it. I want you to take a good look. This is a bare root. This was a bare roots tree. I want you to see what's going on here. You see that? That's a fruit. That's another fruit. There's a third one here somewhere. Oh, and there's the third one right there. This was a bare roots tree. I've only had it for 6 months, and I bought it because it was about 4 feet high. A 4 foot bare roots tree works. It's a mature tree. It's coming from a mature limb. So the more mature the limb is, the more productive the plant is going to be. So it's worth it to spend the extra $20, $30 usually, because the shipping is going to cost you the same with bare roots, because that's where they get you. The tree will not cost you so much, but when you tack on that shipping, you're going to pay. And if you're going to pay for something that you really, really want, get the size of the tree that you want. Get a mature branch. Get a mature tree so that you can get your fruit as soon as possible and you don't have to wait. Now, when you're buying them in the store, they're going to be 3 to 4 feet high. That's how they normally sell them. I mean, they do have some smaller ones that you could buy, but normally at the big box store, you're going to get them for this, that they're going to be 3 to 4 feet, if not bigger. Try to purchase the same size tree that you would get in the store. And when you get your bare roots tree in, do not wait to plant it. I just got this. I just got this plant. Just got it. The camera went off. I went out there and got it because I can't leave anything out here in Texas. It'll dry up or it won't be the same. It's too hot. Today is about 80. I shouldn't say it's 90. It's about 80, 82 degrees here. In any case, it's in a box. Get it out of the box. They're going to have water or some kind of material to keep the roots damp. Get it out of that box. And on that box, it says open immediately. Don't just toss it aside and leave it in your garage, because that is not going to work. That's probably what happened to that one tree that is sitting over there near the trash bin that has to be thrown out. I left it sitting. The rest of them did fine. It's sisters and brothers that came in with them. They're doing just fine. But that one tree didn't make it, most likely because I waited about 3-4 days to plant it. All of them. I don't know, maybe it was something wrong with the tree, but you know, you can't say anything when you sit it around. So when you get your bare roots tree, and remember that this tree is surviving, the roots are exposed, and all it's surviving on is moisture. There's no nutritional value usually in the stuff that they put in. They put a little bit of shredded bamboo or something in there. That's what it looked like to me, bamboo. That has no nutritional value. All that's doing is keeping the roots damp. Get that stuff out and put it in a pot as ASAP that day. Do not wait. I'm just telling you, because it's expensive to get bare roots tree, and you don't want to wait, you know, because you wait a day or two, the plant might not make it. It goes, the longer it sit, I don't know how long this thing has been in transit, but the longer, let me get them. Okay, I'm back. So I was, you know, everything I said is pretty much on here. This is what Alderman sends you when you buy it. It says pot plants and trees. Remove protective plastic and cardboard sleeve. Water thoroughly and place. I didn't need to water, it was already wet. In a shelter but bright location. Water regularly, however the top of the soil becomes dry, or water whenever it becomes dry. And it says place plant in a cool, well-lit area and water daily. Make sure that the pot does not dry out or sit in standing water. So, you know, they give you a little tidbit on how to do it if you order from Alderman. Most of them, a lot of them don't do this. Bare roots trees, they figure you know what you're doing. Anyway, I think I've talked enough. I got almost all of my roosters, with the exception of one and a newbie that showed up in the cage. They won't behave. So that's what happens. That put them up. There's an alternative to that, and I don't want to do the alternative. This is Jamerica for Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me. I hope you all get some bare roots trees. Don't be afraid of them. They're going to look bad when you get them. They are going to look like a stick. That's what they are. Basically a stick with some roots on it. But they always, well, I can't guarantee it because I'm not the grower. But the ones that I've had good experiences with so far. So far, because I was leery. Very leery about buying them. I'm the kind of person who likes to see what I'm getting, you know, see a healthy plant. But on top of that, when you buy plants, I always have to check the root of the tree, because a lot of those trees have been in those pots a long time and the roots start spinning around. Bare roots trees, you don't have to worry about that unless you leave it in the pot. You do that yourself. But when you're buying potted plants, sometimes the roots will start strangling itself and you have to tear it apart, and it's called root bound. It's basically the roots are just wrapping around itself and strangling itself. So bare roots trees, you don't have to worry about that. But on the flip side, you don't know, because the tree doesn't have any leaves usually when you get it, and you have to start, you know, you have to hope that they're alive. Usually you could do the scratch test and see if there's some green underneath the bark, and that'll tell you if the limbs are still alive. But you're just having faith in the growers, and so far the growers have been telling the truth. They have been telling the truth to me. Not necessarily for everybody, so don't quote me. All growers are not the same. Just the Willis Archers, I know they were good. They were good. As I said, I've had some potted plants that were root bound or something was wrong with them. That's why I don't plant the potted plants. I wait about 30 days before I put them in the ground, because some of them jokers got bugs, diseases, and you won't see it initially. You just have to wait for like 30 days and it'll show up. I haven't had any show up yet, but I certainly don't want to. Bare roots trees, you don't have any leaves on it. You don't have any, anyway, there's really no way for it to transport any kind of bug, mysterious bug, to infest your yard, you know. But with those, there's dirt, and in dirt, there's where you get your insects. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for your time, and I'll see you on the next one, all right? Bye. Mama's little baby love rooster, rooster. Mama little baby love rooster stew. Yay, team.